want to make sure y'all can see it. What I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to actually use this blade from the Weather Shield, also from the Premium. It's the same blade that's used in all the other ones you get. I'm not going to go through all the different fans that this blade is used on. It has the manufacturer hole in the front for cooling. Well, I'm going to attempt to put this on the B2200, the one that has the larger capacitor, because that motor is a little more powerful than the standard capacitor ones. The standard capacitor one is about 0.8 amps, but this one has a larger capacitor, so I'm guessing it's probably about close to 1 amp. So it should be able to handle this blade. This is the one that has the startup sound on it, and we'll see what's going to happen. But if it can handle the blade, which would be really surprising given the fact that it's stronger than the average, 20-inch box fan from Lasco 3733 with the little teeny weeny capacitor, 0.8 amp capacitor, or microfarads or whatever, however you measure the capacitor, whatever. I'm not into capacitors and all that stuff. But since it has a larger capacitor, I'm just going to do that. Temp real quick, let's see what happens. All right, here we go. And if it works, maybe it'll bring the startup sound even more. It'll bring out the startup sound even more. So let's see. Well, how come you're not using the drill? I thought you used the drill on all your fans. Well, I recently learned that the drill is not for every single fan. You really don't want to use that on these box fans because that could potentially damage the hole or make it bigger than it should, or potentially damage the plastic because it's cheap plastic, and these are cheap fans. So I think the standard screwdriver here is sufficient. That's why. So that answers that question. Here we go. Now, this is the hole that I made with my drill, okay? The manufacturer hole is much bigger than the hole I made with my drill. I just wanted to point that out. And you can see the big capacitor right there. That thing is huge. So the motor should be way more powerful than the standard 0.8 amp standard with the little teeny weeny capacitor that you usually get on these box fans. That's why it's so weak and it can't handle that blade. So let's see if it actually can handle this blade, given that it has a larger capacitor and fairly more watts. So let's see what happens. Here, I'm just gonna hold it. Let's see, we'll try to tilt this up so you guys can see. I'm just gonna hold it and we're gonna run it and just test it out. And the conclusion to this test is that no, it can't handle it because it's not getting up to full speed. And the reason why it's not getting up to full speed is because the blade is too heavy for this motor. So even though it has the larger capacitor to produce the startup sound, which it didn't really have no effect on the startup sound, it kind of sounded the same, this blade is too heavy for that. So I'm gonna pop the other blade back on, and that's gonna conclude this test. All right, anyway, that's going to conclude this test. I'm not going to make this video no longer than what it is. Thanks for watching. It didn't work out because the motor, even though it has a bigger capacitor, it's pretty much the same as the one that comes with the standard capacitor. It's just not a strong enough motor to handle that blade. The Mark the Fan Man motor videos will come soon, and I hope you enjoyed the video.